Hello YouTube, I'm back at it again with another dueling book video. It's going to be my Astral custom archetype versus Telebashzek's Takaroshi deck. You'll find out later, so let us proceed and find out who will win this duel. So starting off, I'm playing Astral World and using its effect to add one Astral monster from my deck to my hand. Let's see who's gonna come up to our hand and to our field. Let us proceed. Alright. Hopefully it's going to be another extender, which is Astral Cooper. So what will happen is while it's the only monster on my field, I can discard one card, banish itself from the field, and be able to special summon two Astral monsters straight from my deck with different names in attack position. So which isn't just enough to give ourselves a possibility to exceed summon with two level 4 monsters, but we'll find out what's going to happen next. So continue with the duel. I summoned Astral Local and Astral Leech and be able to resolve their effects. So Astral Local special summons an Astral monster from my bench onto the field, while Leech summons Astral monster from my grave, and then triggering Astral Vigil effect, allowing me to add one Astral card from my deck to my hand besides Vigil. I'll activate Astral Thematics effect, discarding one to draw 2 cards, and I'll use Terraforming to add another Astral just in case for later. And let me go straight into the special summoning right now because it may take a while. Alright. So the monsters I summoned out were Astral Dystopia and Stormbinder. So with Stormbinder's effect, during either player's turn, I can detach one of its materials to negate a monster effect. Target one monster on the field to negate its effect, and plus it cannot attack. But it only lasts until the next end phase. So we're about to see what my opponent's about to play. Alright. I'm waiting for him to respond. And he activates Pot of Extravagance. I give him a thumbs up, letting him know that he is safe to activate his card. He'll then play Cosmic Cyclone, targeting my face down, and then in return I will negate with Astral Nerve's effect. But in order to do so, I must banish an Astral monster from my grave to be able to resolve its effect, which will then negate and destroy Cosmic Cyclone. And my mistake. Why did I say negate and banish? By banishing, I assume that I could be referring to my grave in order to be able to use its cost to trigger its effect, so that you can be able to activate. And then he'll use his Takaroshi cards that I mentioned, so he can reveal itself to activate one of his Takaroshi cards from his deck to the field, which he'll be able to use Wave Tactics effect, and that it'll trigger. So he can reveal any number of Takaroshi special summon one poking stick from either his deck or grave to the field. This may take some time, so this is a very powerful card too. Although it has 0 attack, it can anytime it's sent from the field to the grave, allowing him to add a Takaroshi spell trap from his deck to his hand. But I have the upper hand, so this is where I might possibly start using my Xyz monster's effect. Astral Dystopia will detach a material, so that I can target one of his monsters and gain control of his own and make it my own. And then Local's effect, when it's detached as material, to allow me to draw 1 card. I have a really strong hand right now, so I'm still trying to figure out what to play. So I'll activate another Astral World, so I'd be able to use this effect again to add 1 from my deck to my hand. only while I can only use this effect only when it's activated from the hand to the field, or when it gets activated to the field. Let's get the thematics effect. I only need to discard 1 to draw 2, like last time. And I already have some really powerful cards in my hand. Astral Sea. This card ensures that special summon monsters your opponent controls cannot banish, shuffle, destroy 2 or more cards you control by card effects. So hopefully have something in store for him. So because how I'm playing this deck is to ensure that my board is well protected from card effects, and then I could be able to have bigger, stronger beat sticks, so that it'll be harder for them to overcome. So clearly, I have the upper hand. Considering he has no monsters, I have plenty, and I can pretty much take over my entire main monster zone and try to possibly go for a game. So I'll use Astral Source's effect, destroy his back row, but then he'll protect his back row using Gamma, destroying, then gaining my monster effect and destroying it since he controls no monsters. And then a Leech's effect will activate, preventing so that my opponent cannot conduct their next battle phase. He's letting me know that he's aware that the effect does resolve, so which is perfect, so he can conduct his battle phase next turn. Alright. And let's get straight forward. Alright. He regains his monster. He'll use Takayoshi's effect, Takaroshi, to add a Takaroshi monster from his deck to his hand. Or I mean special summon, like possibly Poking Stick, but I'll negate. But I have to banish for cost. I have to banish Astral monster from my grave to negate and destroy its effect. I'll activate. So he'll activate another Takaroshi Wave Tactics, summon Minefield Reeler, and then attack his own monster, Poking Stick. But then I'll negate using Storebinder's effect, so he cannot attack as well either. I'm gonna fast forward in case this duel does tend to get slow. So he does have a response to Vigil's effect, in case he might potentially negate. Alright, and I allow it because I have no response. Alright, he's fine with it. I'm okay with it. But Vigil will still be able to resolve its effect, since that wasn't the card he was trying to negate. So I'll most likely be able to add a Astral card from my grave to my hand. And let's see what I have in store for him. And obviously he's gonna most likely attack. Yep. And then be able to get activate the effect of Poking Stick, which will then be able to give him another Takaroshi spell trap from his deck to his hand. Alright. He'll activate Industrial Plant, special summon Poking Stick, banish Thematics, to special summon Pathwalker from my grave, special summon Ethereal, and then Ethereal makes Pathwalker and himself level 8. And they'll be able to summon Interdimensional Dragon. Interdimensional Dragon's effect. Detach 1 to banish 1 monster on the field to the next standby phase. That'd be his Poking Stick. So that he'll be able to keep gaining additional spell traps from his deck to his hand. Ethereal will activate, being able to be sure to protect the monsters I currently control by battle and card effects, so they cannot be destroyed, basically. Alright, which is good for me in case he has something up his sleeve. I have to notify him so that he is aware which card I'm activating. Alright, Nerves allows me to banish itself, adding a Astral card from a monster, like that is banished from that is to my hand. And then what happens is when I do attack him directly, it will trigger his Industrial Plants effect. He will be able to change the battle position of all monsters I control to defense, face-up defense position. And they cannot be changed for the rest of this turn, unfortunately. So maybe a misplay, but it's a good thing because I can pretty much, at least I don't take damage while they're in defense. So as long as they don't have piercing, and my monster's already strong enough as it is. Even I'm confused. I was trying to reread his card. I want to make sure I didn't misread anything. So he's right about the effect. So I do agree. I approve as to the effect as it does resolve. Alright, and I go into my end phase. End phase triggering Interdimensional Dragon's effect, taking one monster from my grave and attaching itself as a material. Alright, let's fast forward. He'll activate another Cosmic Cycle, same thing, negate and destroy his effect, and then be able to stack nerves to my grave. He'll activate Takaroshi's Tactics effect. So I assume adding a Takaroshi monster from his deck to his hand. I'm still checking my grave, as always, just to be sure if I have anything in response. He does return my monster. It does, considering it's an Xyz monster, just to let you know for players who are new, it doesn't go to my hand, it actually goes straight to my extra deck because that's where I summoned it from. Because usually monsters that in your extra deck, that means you always have access to them as long as you follow their summoning conditions. Individual triggers resolve its effect, adding Astral straight from my deck to my hand. Let me fast forward, and then I get Astral Nerve's effect. It was mainly because of I assume because of Pathwalker's effect I gain Astral World. And then a lot is going on right now, so Astral World will be able to add a monster from my deck to my hand. So let's continue. The max effect activates. Special summoning an Astral monster from my grave to my field. Wait, so I still haven't decided yet. I'm choosing Pathwalker, and then it will be able to resolve its effect. Special summoning Leech from my hand. Leech uses effect, special summon Vigil straight from my grave, and then be able to add Astral card from my deck to my hand. I didn't mention earlier, but the reason why I was able to get Astral straight from my hand was because of Pathwalker, and the reason I was able to get Astral Nerves from my hand, from my grave to my hand, simply because of Vigil's effect, allowing me to add any Astral card from my grave to my hand. So just in case, as always. I may be a little slow, but let me just fast forward. So Astral's effect, changing their levels from level 4 to 8, summoning Interdimensional Dragon, and then I get to detach to gain control. So for a possible rank 4 play, which I'm doing right now. So this should be able to shut my opponent immediately in case he has anything to stop my play and canceling my win. So I want to ensure that my win does come in, so I can be able to resolve my win. So I can be able to accomplish it this turn. Hopefully, I can be able to gain this win this very turn. So skip, and he admits defeat. Hopefully, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Eventually, I'll try to make more content like I always mention. And be sure to check your notifications, comment, like and subscribe. Thank you.